We, in this case, are the people who see that both the King jury verdict and the LA riots show that things have got to change. They've got to change. Not going to go on this way. No justice, no peace. Let's agree on that. Now here's what we've been flirting with in America today.
Quite illegal. You're in a Milan. Dig out me gold, yes. In a Milan. Digging out me pearl. In a Milan. Dig out me diamond. We are go fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. You're in a Milan, and you build up your party. You're in a Milan, you build up your regime. You're in a Milan, only talk about justice. You're in a Milan, handing down injustice. We gonna fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Brothers got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. You're in a Milan, you know build no school for black children. You're in a Milan, no hospital for black people. You're in a Milan. You build pure prison. You're in a Milan. You build pure camp. We got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We gonna fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Africa is for black man. Remember, in certain place in Africa, black man get no recognition. So we have to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Black man got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. You cross the border, you shoot after children. Cross the border, shoot down women. Cross the border, you take your might. Cross the border, the beats were right. We gonna fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Ask for majority, majority rule. Hey. You need minority, but that couldn't rule. Yeah. So we gon' fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We gonna fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Break off from Britain. You're quite illegal. spending my time on building ballistic missiles. Now we have to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Black man got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Come on and we fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We gonna fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We got to fight.
Oh, where have you been, my blue-eyed son? And where have you been, my darling young one? I've stumbled on the side of 12 misty mountains. I've walked and I crawled on 6 crooked highways. I've stepped in the middle of 7 side forests. I've been out in front of a dozen dead oceans. I've been 10,000 miles in the mouth of a graveyard. And it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rain you're gonna fall. Oh, what did you see, my blue-eyed son? And what did you see, my darling young one? I saw a newborn baby with wild wolves all around it. I saw a highway of diamonds with nobody on it. I saw a black branch with blood that kept dripping. I saw a room full of men with their hammers a-bleeding. I saw a white ladder all covered with water. I saw 10,000 talkers whose tongues were all broken. I saw guns and sharp swords in the hands of young children. And it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, and it's a hard, it's a hard rain they're gonna fall. Oh, what did you hear, my blue-eyed son? And what did you hear, my darling young one? I heard the sound of a thunder that roared out a warning. I heard the roar of a wave that could drown the whole world. I heard 100 drummers whose hands were ablazing. I heard 10,000 whispering and nobody listening. I heard one person starve, I heard many people laughing. I heard the song of a poet who died in the gutter. I heard the sound of a clown who cried in the alley. And it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rains are gonna fall. Oh, what did you meet, my blue-eyed son? And who did you meet, my darling young one? I met a young child beside a dead pony. I met a white man who walked a black dog. I met a young woman whose body was burning. I met a young girl, she gave me a rainbow. I met one man who was wounded in love. I met another man who was wounded in hatred. And it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rays are gonna fall. And what'll you do now, my blue-eyed son? And what'll you do now, my darling young one? I'm a-going back out for the rain starts a-falling. I'll walk to the depths of the deepest dark forest, where the people are many and their hands are all empty, where the pellets of poison are flooding their waters, where the home in the valley meets the damp, dirty prison, and the executioner's face is always well hidden, where hunger is ugly, where the souls are forgotten, where black is the color, where none is the number. And I'll tell it and speak it and think it and breathe it, and reflect from the mountains so all souls can see it. And I'll stand on the ocean until I start sinking, but I'll know my song well before I start singing. And it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, and it's a hard, it's a hard rains are gonna fall.
There was, of course, Bob Dylan, Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. Before that, we heard Peter Tosh do Apartheid. Fight, fight, fight against apartheid. Yeah, Bob Dylan, it takes you back. I always think of that Edmonton DJ when I was up in Canada. He was trying to penetrate the mystery of Bob Dylan. Our phone caller might appreciate this. And so he's muddling around at it on the radio, you know, and trying to get it. Why is Bob Dylan so great? Because he could see that Bob Dylan couldn't carry a tune in a bushel basket, you know, no problem. So he says, why was he so popular? And then he said, you know, I think that it must have had to do with the content of his songs. Yeah, right, it did. And it had also to do with the fact that Bob Dylan was not only a great singer, but he had a great audience. He had an audience that was in motion, that called for more from him than even he could give in the end. And yeah, here's a title cut from his New Morning album.
Can't you hear that rooster crow? Rabbit running down across the road, underneath the bridge where the water flows through. So happy just to see a smile underneath that sky blue on this new morning. happy just to see you smile underneath the sky blue on this new morning. New morning on this new morning with you. The night passed away so quickly. It always does when you're with me. Can't you feel it, sun is shining? Brown horse running by the country stream. This must be the day that all of my dreams come true. So happy just to be alive underneath the sky blue on this new morning. New morning on this new morning with you. So happy just to be alive underneath the sky of blue on this new morning. New morning on this new morning with you. New morning. New morning.
Bob Dylan, New Morning.
Public affairs programming can now be heard from 7:30 to 8 o'clock in the morning, every weekday here on WHUS. Begin Monday morning with Between the Lines about the news you didn't hear anywhere else. Tuesdays, listen to This Way Out, the international gay and lesbian news magazine. Crossroads, the award-winning multicultural radio magazine, airs Wednesday morning. On Thursday at 7:30, consider the alternatives here on 91.7 FM. And on Fridays, examine our national fixation with alcohol on thinking about drinking. Explore the world here on WHUS Stores, your information alternative.
Hey, isn't that My Dad Is Dead? Let's see if we can get a legal ID from them.
Hi, I'm Mark Edwards.
What
My
the?
dad's dead, and you're listening to WHUS
Wait a minute.
Stores, the station at UCONN.
Hold on. No, not her. She's just a crazed fan. Ask the guy who was on stage. Excuse me, sir?
I'm Mark from My Dad Is Dead.
Oh, great. Now he's not even taking us seriously. I hope he's not annoyed. Excuse me, Mr. Edwards. You're not mad at us, are you? Sir?
Hey, there are nice people in Connecticut, and a lot of them work at WHUS Stores.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm glad you think so.
So take a hint from Mark Edwards of My Dad Is Dead and listen to 91.7 FM WHUS Stores, your nice alternative.
Well, it's alternative anyway. As people that listen to this show are probably aware that we're not really crazy about the so-called war on drugs here between rock and a hard place. To us, it's just another very destructive blind alley that America is going down. It's like Prohibition was. They couldn't stop people from drinking either. And the whole thing of outlawing alcohol just made organized crime in America. That's how the mafia got started here. This so-called war on drugs is a phony war. Why doesn't the government do an investigation of its own involvement with the importation of white powder? It's also the single greatest threat to civil rights that we got going right now. All kinds of new procedures are called for, and the whole notion of probable cause for search and seizure is getting pretty frayed around the edges. It's corrupting the police all over the nation. Where else but in rural Florida can a cop get paid $50,000 for just not being at a certain isolated airstrip at some weird hour of the morning? But even the grimmest situations have a sort of humorous side to them. You remember Jimmy Swaggart and the other Bible-thumping professional moralists who were getting caught in sleazy motels with very sleazy ladies a couple of years ago? Well, it's happening in the drug war, just like the war on sex. That's another one that can't be won. This week, we had two gung-ho drug warriors that got heist by their own petard. These people are so smug, so sinless. It's just great to see them go down. The first one was a woman named Leslie Ota, O-H-T-A. Her name is spelled, I don't know how it's pronounced. She made a name for herself as a zealous prosecutor on drug cases. She seized millions of dollars worth of property in drug raids. Bridgeport Post said defense attorneys learned not to expect a break when she got a house in her sights. She's taking people's houses, huh? Bob Casale, a Branford attorney who represented an elderly couple whose home was seized because of their grandson's drug dealing, said he once told Ota that if he ever needed a heart transplant, he'd want hers because it had never been used. Critics call the forfeiture law, that is the law that allows people's homes and vehicles to be seized under these for drug offenses, a perversion of the American system of justice. But the law has survived challenges all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. I imagine it'll continue to do that, too. To seize property, the government doesn't need to prove that a person knew his property was being used in the drug trade, as it would in trying to obtain a criminal conviction. Federal prosecutors need only establish probable cause that the law was violated and can even use hearsay evidence to help do it. Once the government has established probable cause, it's up to the property owners to show that they did not know about or consent to the drug activity. So these are the laws that this Ota woman was taking advantage of. In 1988, Ota went after the Hamden house of an elderly couple, Paul and Ruth Derbacher, whose grandson was accused of storing and selling drugs out of the house. Drugs were found throughout the house, even in Ruth Derbacher's dresser drawer. The Derbachers claimed they didn't know what was going on, but they were forced to sell their house and split the proceeds with the government. I don't feel very sorry for Ota, Paul Derbacher, now 83, said recently. My wife thinks she's a barracuda. Imagine she would. In 1990, the government seized the three-family Hartford home of Louise Mullings, a retired nurse living in Florida, because her sons had been selling marijuana out of the house and had been arrested numerous times. So this person doesn't even live in town. Her house is being used to sell drugs out of. It's a three-family home, and they get it. The tables, however, turned on Ota, Leslie Ota, in December 1991 when her 18-year-old son, Mickey, was arrested on a felony charge that he sold the hallucinogen LSD out of his parents' Chevrolet Blazer. He was also charged with possession of marijuana after being stopped in another of his parents' cars, police said. He was not charged with selling drugs from home, but the arrest affidavit said an informant had bought a quarter ounce of marijuana from Ota at his parents' house in Glastonbury in 1989. Police said no arrest was made then because they did not want to compromise a larger investigation. Sure, they didn't. Now, needless to say, the government is not going to take Mrs. Ota's her house or car, though if she was prosecuted by somebody like herself, they could certainly get those possessions. Ota's boss, a guy named Dabrowski, he's of course talking out of both sides of his mouth as fast as he can. He said he has reassigned this Ota woman. Besides doing that, Dabrowski in January increased oversight. He increased oversight of the asset forfeiture program by requiring that both he and another supervisory attorney approve all asset forfeiture actions. The move was not intended as a criticism of Ota's methods, said Dabrowski, who staunchly defended his aggressive assistant. Is she receiving a special treatment? Yes. He said she is being subjected to scrutiny and investigation far beyond that applied to any ordinary citizen. Right. Well, they may not get her house, but the woman has certainly got egg on her face. The other watchdog that got bit was a guy named Terry Monk. He was a sort of a would-be leader of a would-be vigilante organization down in Milford. Cops saw him going eastbound on I-95 in Darien at 1:35 a.m. He was swerving in and out of the middle lane. When he got pulled over, he left the car running and the transmission in drive so that when he got out, the car went off down the highway. He had blood alcohol of 0.17, was way over the 0.1 limit that they need to nail you. The Hartford Advocate said that the organization Monk heads, which is called Drug Free Milford, has shown more interest in sending cops to harass small-time pot smokers who pose no danger to the public than he has in drunken drivers. Drug Free Milford publishes anonymous mail-in coupons and a 24-hour phone line for people to report suspect drug users and dealers in town. God, it's right out of 1984, isn't it? They used to complain about Hitler and Stalin for doing this kind of thing. I mean, I used to hear horror stories like that when I was in grammar school. Since the anti-drug organization's inception in 1989, Milford cops have used the anonymous information to search through the citizenry's trash left out overnight for collection to see who had things like pot seeds, plasticine baggies, rolling papers, and High Times magazine. Many of the 100-plus people busted, 100 people got nailed in this program, largely small-time pot smokers, had their homes searched by the police department's tactical squad. I've never had my home searched by the tactical squad, but I hear that it's quite a job to clean up when those guys get done. So, that was the week for the Drug Busters. Here's a song for those turkeys. Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen. Who else? Down to seeds and stems again.
Well, I'm sitting alone Saturday night, watching Late Show. A bottle of wine, some cigarettes. I got no place to go. Well, I saw your other man today. He was wearing my brand new shoes. And I'm down to seeds and stems again, too. Well, I saw my old friend Bob today from up in Bowling Green. He had the prettiest little gal that I'd ever seen. But I couldn't hide my tears at all, 'cause she looked just like you. And I'm down to seeds and stems again, too. dog died just yesterday and left me all alone. The finance company dropped by today and repossessed my home. But that's just a drop in the bucket, gal, compared to losing you. And I'm down to seeds and stems again, too. Got the down to seeds and stems again, blue.
Commander Cody, of course. Here's what I think my favorite of all his Diggy Diggy Low.
Diggy, liggy, lion, diggy, liggy, low. Fell in love at the Fay-Do-Do. The pop was cold, but the coffee chilled. Diggy, liggy, lion, diggy, liggy, low. Diggy, liggy, lion, diggy, liggy, low. Everyone knew he was her beau. No one else could ever show so much love for Diggy, liggy, low. Oh, oh. It's the place they make romance, where they do the Cajun dance. Steal a kiss or grab a chance, show your love with every glance. Diggy, liggy, line up, diggy, liggy, low. Everyone knew he was a beau. No one else could ever show so much love for Diggy, liggy, low. Oh, oh. Of a mother-in-law, moved out where the bayou flows. Lines are studded, diggy, liggy, low. Diggy, liggy, line up, diggy, liggy, low. Everyone knew he was a beau. No one else could ever show so much love for Diggy, liggy, low. Oh, oh.
Dylan fan who called earlier. This is the band, Rag Mama Rag.
Can't believe it's true. Rag Mama Rag, what did you do? I crawled up to the railroad track like a 419, scratching my back. Sag, Mama, sag, what's come over you? Rag Mama Rag, I'm pulling out your gang. Gonna turn you loose like an old caboose. Got a tail I need to drag. I asked about your turtle, and you asked about the weather. Well, I can't jump a hurdle, and we can't get together. We could be relaxing in my sleeping bag, but all you wanna do for me, mama, is rag, mama, rag. There's nowhere to go. Rag, mama, rag. Come on, rising up the boat. Rag, mama, rag. Where do you roam? Rag, mama, rag. Bring your skinny little body
the weather here between rock and a hard place, central, eastern interior, southwest interior. Tonight, partly cloudy. This is nice fresh weather, by the way. This weather was come out at 2:51 in this afternoon, so it's new. Tonight, partly cloudy, areas of dense fog developing. Low 45 to 50, light variable wind. Sunday, partly sunny, high 70 to 75. Light southeast wind becoming northeast. This morning they were telling us that Sunday was going to be a bad day, but it's going to be nice. It's going to be warm. Sunday night, partly cloudy. Areas of fog developing. Low 45 to 50. Monday, becoming sunny. High 65 to 70. I don't have the extended forecast. Every now and then I've just got to play this song. It's like a certain kind of food that if you don't get it, it's you just miss it. Whoops, not that one. Tapes are tough to cue up. Best introduction in rock and roll.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Sam, the Sham, and the Pharaohs. Of course, Sam, the Sham, and the Pharaohs. Another one-hit wonder band. I don't know what they ever did beside that. I know I can listen to that back in the summer of 1965 down in the cafe down below where I live. Ah-doo-dah. Well, nice day out there today, as we said on the weather report. Here's a song by Janis Joplin in favor of that weather. George Gershwin, of all people.
Time, time, And your mom's so good looking, babe. She's looking good now. Hush, baby, 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 baby. No, 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 don't you cry. Don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. You're gonna spread your wings, shout and take to the sky. Nothing's going to harm you now. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Don't you cry.
Of course, was Janis Joplin on Cheap Thrills with Big Brother and the Whole Company. Let's go right on. Piece of my heart. Ronna, don't say I never did anything for you.
Honey, you know I did. And each time I tell myself that when I think I've had enough, but when I'm gonna show you, baby, that a woman can be tough. I want you to come on, come on, come on, come on, and take another little piece of my heart now, baby. Take another little bit of my heart now. Streets looking good, and baby, deep down in your heart, I guess you know that it ain't right. Never, 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 never heal me when I cry. Baby, I cry all the time, but each time I tell myself that I can't stand the pain. But when you hold me in your arms, I'm saying it once again. I said, come on. Take another makes you feel good.
Janis Joplin there. The usual amateurish but enthusiastic backup from the big brother in the holding company. Jury's still out on that band, but it'll probably never return. I was gonna do a little spring set here. Got derailed by Piece of My Heart. Baby, I'm gonna show you that a woman can be tough. God, many things could be derailed by that. Anyhow, this is Paul Piché, French-Canadian singer. Lives not far from where I used to live in Montreal. He's doing a song called Heureux d'un Printemps, happy in springtime.
Heureux d'un printemps qui me chauffe la couenne, triste d'avoir manqué encore un hiver. Je peux pas faire autrement, ça me fait de la peine. On vit rien qu'au printemps, le printemps dure pas longtemps. Avraïdadi, vradi, didilam, hop didiladidam, adidiladam. Avraïdadi, vradi, didilam, hop didiladidam, adidiladam. Assis sur le banc de mon tout rouge, je me creuse la tête. Je pense au bonheur des gens, je sais bien que ça va pas durer. Ça a l'air que ça prend des sous pour faire la fête. À qui appartient le beau temps, l'hiver, l'été durant. Avradidadi, vradididilam, abdidladidam, adididladam, avradidadidam. L'été c'est tellement bon quand t'as la chance d'avoir assez d'argent pour voyager sans t'inquiéter. Pour le fils d'un patron, c'est les vacances. Pour la fille du restaurant, c'est les sueurs puis les clients. Avradidadi, vradididilam, abdidladidam, adididladam, avradidadidam. On dit que l'hiver est blanc comme un nuage, mais ça évidemment dans le chalet près du foyer. Dans le fond c'est salissant pour risquer le chauffage. Y'a pas pire moment de l'année quand t'es pris pour t'endetter. Avradidadi, vradididilam, abdidladidam, adididlam. Abdidladidlam, 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 abdidladidlam. creuser ma peine, j'ai vu le surintendant, je peux rien te dire en attendant. Le jour où ça sera nous qui ferons la fête. Imaginez le printemps quand l'hiver sera vraiment blanc. Heureux le printemps qui me chauffe la couenne, triste d'avoir manqué encore un hiver. Je peux pas faire autrement, ça me fait de la peine. On vit rien qu'au printemps, le printemps dure pas longtemps. Heureux le printemps qui me chauffe la couenne, triste d'avoir manqué encore un hiver. Je peux pas faire autrement, ça me fait de la peine. On vit rien qu'au printemps, le printemps dure pas longtemps.
That was Paul Piché, Heureux d'un Printemps. In Quebec, when you get finished with the winter, you're feeling like celebrating. I used to work with a guy out in Alberta, little Bob, the electrician, and he said at the end of the winter time, which is really about this time in Alberta, that he used to get together with a couple of his high school buddies and they'd get a 12 a beer and they'd go up and sit on a rock out on a sunny hillside and just listen to the snow melt. I says, oh no, you didn't do that. Tell me it isn't true. Say it isn't so, Bob. He says, oh yeah. You know, by the time we got finished with that winter, I would have gone up there with him. You're thinking about the way America is today over this last week and even before that. You have to wonder if we aren't sitting on the edge of great, great changes. I mean the kind of change that happened in England in the 1640s when they cut the king's head off after the Civil War, or maybe the French Revolution, 1789, or the uprisings all over Europe in 1848. In all of these, everybody had kind of gotten used to the idea of the common people being miserably poor and as a steady state, constant insecurity, and the privileges and arrogance of the nobility and the king. And that was like the way things were, and people seemed resigned to it. The church told them that that was God's will, and that's the way stuff was going to be. That was it, forever. Then, kaboom. Nobody saw it coming. A couple of things go wrong for the biggies. The people see they can win. They see how much they agree on. And the situation, as they say, rapidly gets out of control. So you have the Bastille, you have the Civil War, you have social progress. The key in this isn't the fact that people are suffering. People suffer a lot. What counts is what they can agree on about it. If a lot of people can get together on a program, then they can have a revolution. They can make change, get a new life. Get a life, as the saying goes. If they're suffering, but they blame each other, or if they blame the Jews or black people or some dumb thing like that, then they don't get anywhere. But in these European revolutions, what the people agreed on was that the nobility had to go. At that time, noble people paid no taxes. They couldn't be tried under ordinary laws in regular courts. They were above the law, and people owed them service. The nobility owned all the land, and they were local government. So you couldn't tell whether you were paying rent or taxes or fines or what. They just had rights over you. They had rights over your body, too. They had the rights to your daughters, or to you if you happened to be one of those daughters. Those weren't abuses of power. That was the uses of power at that time. Plus, if you were born noble, that's the way you stayed, no matter what you did. And if you weren't, then you could never work your way into that group. Once a peasant, always a peasant. So, people agreed that nobility was the problem, and equality was the banner that they fought under. When Adam delved and Eve span, who was then the gentleman? This is a little political riddle and rhyme from Wat Tyler's Peasant Uprising in England in 1381. The little poem asks, when humanity began, it says, where was the nobility then? And it implies that the nobility wasn't created by God. It didn't always exist. And so it could be unmade by people, since it was made by people. It's a very powerful idea. The idea that after you've been told for a long time that something is always there, it's human nature, it's inevitable, it's God's will, and then you find out that it isn't. It's a very liberating notion. This was a great idea about the nobility. It was extremely subversive. Now, what have we got these days that we can agree on? Not much, really. As Tarak put it, everybody is mad at everybody else, and that really pisses me off. And that's Tarak Carter, and you kind of have to agree with him. But it took people a long time to settle on nobility, on inequality before the law, as the core of the problem at the end of the Middle Ages. We here in America are really just beginning to work our way out from under mindless jingoism and to try to work on our problem. So it's no wonder we haven't got too far on it. We're getting no help, of course, from the media and the universities and all the other official sources of knowledge any more than they had help against the nobility from the church, which was they were the only educated people in the Middle Ages. So, we're not doing too well so far. But I think that we could agree that we do have a common problem. One institution that presently lies outside our control and just keeps on messing us over while still insisting and making us believe it that we need them. Our problem is the great corporations of America. They pay no taxes. They're not answerable to us in any significant way. They claim to be not responsible for poverty, for unemployment, for job exports, pollution, destruction of the earth, not for anything. You can't tax them, and you can't bring them to trial. They rule the political process as clearly as they rule the economy. They bestride the world like a colossus. They make strutting French dukes look like turkey cocks, and they tell us that we need them. Just like the nobility, they've got us believing that somehow we are here to serve them, and that's the only way that things can ever be, so that they have this inexorable sort of logic, which says that this isn't good for us, and so you mustn't have it. Medical care is too expensive, or there isn't going to be any peace dividend. Well, anyway, the dukes and the counts and the viscounts and the kings and the queens found out that things could be quite otherwise. People didn't have to accept the world that they said was good or right or just inevitable. There was another way, and after some bloodshed, that's the way the world went. Nobility, today, is as dead as pterodactyls. Nobody can run around claiming the right to rape peasant women, or you can't get a letter from the king allowing you to lock up or kill X many ordinary citizens. But the great corporations can tell us that we got to compete head-to-head against the Taiwanese and the Koreans for their investment dollar. They can tell us that they have to lay off X many thousand people, that we have got to accept nuclear power, constant fear and insecurity, and all the rest of it. We don't have any responsibilities, they are telling us. We can leave Los Angeles, go to Mexico, because the pollution laws there are more advantageous to us. So we have to do that, they say. We don't have to educate people, we don't have to retrain them, or do a damn thing for them except sell them stuff at a profit. Myself, I think that any revolution that doesn't face up to the modern corporation and that doesn't face them down, I don't think it's going to accomplish much, because I think they are the central problem. Here's Dave Lippman.
Foot in this joint. I knew it was bad. I had an early warning. When the hardest thing I did all day was get up in the morning. Concrete jungle has turned to glass, and the board of directors is kissing my ass. looter. Some countries got cattle and some got paperwork. How can I sing a song, sing a banner and not feel like a jerk? Concrete jungle has turned to glass, and the board of directors kiss my ass.
That was Dave Lippman. This is WHUS Stores. It's 5:05 in the afternoon.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you
smut, filth, and garbage.
This is rock and roll radio. Come on, let's rock and roll
with
the sensation. Highly talented, fabulous, fabulous, fabulous.
Dave Estelle, only here on 91.7 WHUS Stores, where Dave takes over your Friday nights at 10 p.m. with his show Funkified Filth, featuring rock, funk, and blues. That's one step below the competition. So tune in every Friday night at 10 and be prepared to wallow with Dave.
To those of you unaccustomed to life in the gutter, you'd best grab a snorkel, because we're going down.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of getting rid of your problems, here's Lil Ed and the Imperials. You don't exist.
why should you use me and disabuse me? Hard to tell me why you treat me so cold. I can't understand it. You must have planned it, else you wouldn't be so bold. Well, you don't love, and that's plain to see. All you want to do, well, make a fool of me. Honey, I said it's over. You don't exist. Well, it's over. You don't exist anymore. Now when I had money, you call me honey, and you always, well, wanted me around. But when bad luck hit me, and then you quit me, I just feeding me right. 'Cause I'm tired of crying about the way you do. Hey, all you wanna do, well, make a fool of me. Honey, I said it's over. You don't exist anymore. Well, it's over. You don't exist anymore. Here we go. Well, I'm tired of crying about the way you do. All you wanna do, well, make a fool of me. Well, I said it's over. You don't exist anymore. Well, it's over. You don't exist anymore. Whoa, whoa, it's over. You don't exist anymore.
Well, Ed and the Imperials. You don't exist. Only we get rid of my problems that easily. Here's got a brand new release in the station here, Pop Staples, singing the title song on Peace in the Neighborhood, to the Neighborhood.
Sun's going down in the USA. Down on Main, there's a family sleeping in the doorway. Around the corner, you can hear the sound. People dancing round a golden calf. Those who have nothing and those who have. On the billboard and the TV screen, they got food and cars and trucks and jeans. Like a homeless child fit for dreams. Smiling faces, free from mourning, like abundance beyond counting. Well, put in motion, speed your changes, goes a distance, find your angels, lose your business, meet your danger, world in motion. Once we were running through smoke and fire, running into the sun, in the rush of youth, for love and truth, our deeds were done. Now we await with the world at stake and the race we run. We run. sun coming up 100 years away. On another world and another time. They ain't like a hunger, greed and hatred. One way or another, gonna be eradicated. World in motion, speed your changes, close your distance, find your angels, lose your reason, meet your danger. World in motion, until the world I look out at the world and see. It's the world I know this world can be. Ooh, you have a volunteer in me. Now come on.
Wow, wasn't that something? Pop Staples on his brand new album, Peace to the Neighborhood. That was, that cut I was wrong about was World in Motion. I see it was produced by Bonnie Raitt, Jackson Brown, and Ed Cherney, along with Pop Staples. This is a Charisma album. It's on, I guess it's on Virgin Records, actually, 1992 release. I'm going to try to see if I can't get Peace to the Neighborhood going on this thing. Dumb machine.
Everyone needs. Sister, hold her baby in the bed, dreams and wishes dancing through her head. Love forever is what he said. That's what he said. A pint of whiskey just sitting there. He don't know, he doesn't even care. Oh Lord, mother went her 9 to 5, all to make enough to keep her alive. She bowed her head with tears in her eyes. Thank you, Lord, for another day. Help my brother along the way. Please bring peace to the neighborhood. Grant us all peace and serenity. Sounds of hope lie beneath their feet. Struggling hard to make ends meet. Thank you, Lord, for another day. Help my brother along the way. Please bring peace to the neighborhood. Thank you, Lord, for another day. Help my brother along the way. Please bring peace to the neighborhood. To the neighborhood. To the neighborhood. To the neighborhood, yeah. To the neighborhood. want to tell y'all a true story about a bad habit. This bad habit, Miss Cocaine.
Pop Staples again.
Miss Cocaine is bad. She go all over the world. Don't use no passport. When we go out of the country, we have to have a passport. But she go anywhere without a passport. And this is what she said. Don't let nobody tell you driving around. If you try me once, I'm gonna keep you down. I'm a bad habit, yeah. Just as bad as I wanna be. If you don't wanna get in trouble, don't fool around by me. She said, I entered this country without a passport. And ever since that day, I've been hunted and I've been sold. By jackets and pushers and plainclothes dicks, but mostly by users who need a quick fix. She said, I'm more valuable than diamond, more treasure than gold. If you use me once, you too would be sold. See, I make a schoolboy forget about his books, and I'll make a beauty queen neglect her looks. Take a renowned speaker and make him a bore. Take a little innocent schoolgirl and make her a whore. She's a nasty, bad habit. That's what she is. Miss Cocaine doesn't mind who she hurt. Red, white, yellow, or black. Yeah. Rich or poor, weak or strong, sick or well, it doesn't make her any difference. I'm not trying to tell nobody how to live their life, but what I'm trying to say to you is, before you do it, put some thought into it. Yes. Then you might not do it. All kind of people falling under my wing. Take a look around you. See results I must gain. I'm a bad habit, yeah. Just as bad as I wanna be. If you don't wanna get in trouble, don't fool around by me. I got her standing on the corner, just yelling rock. Shooting and stabbing is common on the block. I call you little unborn baby to be bone hooked and turn the honest man into a crook. I'm the queen of crime and the mistress of destruction. I cause the organ of your body to malfunction. I'll make a school teacher forget how to teach, and I'll make a gospel preacher not want to preach. I destroyed actors, politicians, and heroes. Decrease bank account from million to zero. Now you know what I can do. Well, 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 it's all up to you. Want to get in my saddle, you better be able to ride it well. Me, Miss Cocaine, the White Horse, will ride you straight to hell. I'm a bad habit, yeah. Just as bad as I wanna be. If you don't wanna get in trouble, don't fool around with money me.
Pop Staples singing about cocaine. I'm going to do a little tiny short set here before Between Rock and a Hard Place fades out. Peter Case.
Well, all those nights they hit rock bottom. The songs they sang, well, we forgot 'em. You could hear 'em play with shaky hands. Guitar strung up with rubber bands. Singing, do you want a man of steel? Or do you want a man that's real? We used to play in the courts of kings. Now they're only made of steel when they're on steel strings. Used to be on every schoolgirl's wall, and they never dropped the beat at all. They can make it sore, they can make it hot. Once they got started, they could never stop. Singing, do you want a man of steel? Or do you want a man that's real? Some of them hide when the doorbell rings. They're only made of steel when they're on steel strings. Playing the man 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 on steel You expecting maybe Superman? The best they do is the best they can. The manager's doing time in jail. Big Cadillac is up for sale. Singing, do you want a man of steel? Or do you want a man that's real? Tie their hands at 1,000 things. They're only made of steel when they're on steel strings. Playing the man 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 on steel strings.
Well, I sure didn't have much time for what I wanted to do there. It's 4:28, 53, 54. And I think we better kick in with the WHUS Fairness Doctrine and Disclaimer tape here at this point, and then fade out with Between Rock and a Hard Place, people. Here you go. Just to show you how fair and disclaimed we are.
From time to time throughout the day, WHUS Radio may present programs which contain controversial views on particular subjects. These views do not necessarily represent those of the management, staff, or licensee of WHUS Radio. We welcome and encourage opposing points of view. If you have an idea or opinion you would like to have aired, or if you would like to comment on our programming, please write to WHUS Radio, the University of Connecticut, Box U-8R, 2110 Hillside Road, Storrs, Connecticut, 06269.
Isn't that great? It gets us off the hook legally in a total manner. Give you the weather here over our theme music. That's Lonnie Mac, by the way, doing Memphis, classic rock and roll tune. Tonight's going to be partly cloudy, areas of dense fog developing, lows 45 to 50, light variable wind. Sunday tomorrow is going to be partly sunny, high 70 to 75, light southeast wind becoming